Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news, all right, Browns fans. Let's sit down and talk about the latest swirling around our team, especially concerning Dillon Gabriel. Now, if you've been paying attention over the past few weeks, you know it's been a roller coaster ride for Cleveland's quarterback situation. Gabriel, who was drafted in the third round, pick no. 94 overall, came into this season with some expectations but also a lot of questions. The Browns brought him in hoping he could develop into a reliable backup, maybe even a future starter, but things didn't quite pan out the way we all hoped. In Week 5, with Deshaun Watson sidelined, Gabriel got his shot to lead the offense. That's a big moment for any rookie, especially one drafted in the middle rounds, but Gabriel's debut as a starter was underwhelming. He went 1-5 in his starts, passing for just 937 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. For Browns fans who know how much we value consistency and big plays, that's not exactly the kind of stat line that gets us fired up. Gabriel struggled to push the ball downfield. He rarely looked like he was taking shots or trying to stretch the field, which is something we all want to see from our QB. Instead, he seemed to play it safe, and that didn't produce the spark we needed to turn this offense into a real threat. Things took a turn in Week 11 when Gabriel suffered a concussion. That opened the door for Shedeur Sanders, who stepped in and took over the starting role. From that point on, Gabriel never really got his job back. Sanders showed some promise, and while he's not perfect, especially considering the offensive line issues and limited weapons around him, he's been the guy Cleveland is rolling with as the season comes to a close. Gabriel's time as the starting quarterback seems to be in the rearview mirror now, and honestly, that may be the best thing for him moving forward. The Browns are going to spend the offseason evaluating their long-term plans at quarterback, and if you're reading the tea leaves, it's pretty clear that Gabriel's role in Cleveland is coming to an end. Zach Jackson from The Athletic outlined some pretty interesting possibilities, and honestly, it doesn't look like Gabriel will be a central part of the team's future discussions. Instead, sources suggest he's more of a depth piece, a guy who might stick around as a backup but probably won't be penciled in as the long-term answer. Jackson even mentioned that a trade could be the best move for Gabriel. It's not a secret that he was overdrafted, a third-round pick, which for a lot of Browns fans means there were certain expectations that never really materialized. The reality now is that Gabriel might be better off getting a fresh start somewhere else, where he can get more reps, more development, and perhaps a chance to show what he can really do in the NFL. The Browns may decide to part ways with him, either by trading him for a late-round pick or simply letting him hit free agency. The key point here is that, with a new coaching staff and front office potentially coming in, they'll have a fresh set of eyes on what Gabriel can bring to the table. And right now, the consensus seems to be that he's more of a backup option at best, not a guy who will be leading us into next season with the keys to the kingdom. Now, let's talk about the other side of the coin, Shedeur Sanders. The kid has shown some flashes of potential, even with all the struggles Cleveland's offense has faced this year. Sanders, who took over after Gabriel's injury, has been working behind a makeshift offensive line and with limited targets, yet he's managed to throw for 334 yards, a touchdown, and 5 interceptions. Not perfect numbers, but considering the circumstances, there's a lot of room for growth. Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees has been stressing the importance of continued development, and Sanders himself has been eager to learn and improve. Sanders has been under a lot of pressure, especially from fans and media expecting him to be the long-term answer. But he's got a lot of raw talent, and if he keeps progressing, he might be Cleveland's quarterback of the future. That's what the last few weeks are all about, seeing who can step up and take control of this team. Cleveland holds 2 first-round picks in this upcoming draft, with the top one currently sitting at number 3 overall, which makes this offseason even more critical. Will the Browns spend that first pick on a quarterback, or will they roll with Sanders and build around him? The truth is, Sanders still has a lot to prove. He's shown growth, yes, but he needs more reps and consistency. That's why these final games are so important. They'll help the team's front office evaluate whether Sanders can be the guy to lead us back to playoff prominence or if they need to look elsewhere in the draft or free agency. And let's not forget, Gabriel has been pretty quiet since being benched. His limited action has been mostly on special occasions, like when Sanders suffered a finger injury against the Bills. That single play, where Gabriel came in and received boos from the home crowd, really summed up how Browns fans are feeling right now. Nobody's really sold on Gabriel as the future, and that's understandable after a rough start to his NFL career. Sanders, for all his struggles, still has a chance to grow into something more, and the coaching staff is emphasizing patience and development. It's worth mentioning that the last few weeks haven't been easy for Sanders either. Working behind a patchwork offensive line and with limited playmakers, he's faced a lot of adversity. But as offensive coordinator Tommy Rees pointed out, Sanders is still making progress. Rees emphasized that the key is to keep pushing forward, making good decisions, and finding ways to move the ball and put points on the board. That's the hallmark of a quarterback with potential, growth through adversity. Looking ahead, the Browns are at a crossroads. Do they double down on Sanders and give him the keys to the franchise? Or do they look for a new quarterback option in the draft? With 2 high first-round picks, they have options, but the decision will shape the future of Cleveland football for years to come. The front office will have to weigh the progress Sanders has made against the potential of a top-tier draft pick, and that's a tough call. For now, the focus is on these last few games of the season. It's a chance for Sanders to prove he can be the guy, for Gabriel to possibly find a new team where he can develop, and for the Browns to figure out what kind of team they want to be moving forward. This offseason will be critical, and the decisions made will have ripple effects for years. Cleveland fans are eager to see which direction they'll go, and honestly, we're all hoping for a future where our quarterback is the missing piece that finally gets us back to the playoffs and hopefully a Super Bowl. As for the fans, it's a lot to process. We've seen ups and downs, flashes of promise, and plenty of questions. But one thing is for sure, Cleveland is a passionate football city, and we're ready for whatever comes next. Whether it's Sanders stepping up, Gabriel finding a new team, or a new quarterback arriving via draft or trade, we'll be watching closely, cheering loud, and hoping for brighter days ahead. This team has the talent and the heart, and I believe we're on the cusp of something real. We just need to get the right pieces in place. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news.